Hello everyone, and welcome to week 8 of our Management in Education module. This week, we turn our focus to leadership theories and managing organizations, how they are structured, how they function, and how management operates within them. Understanding organizations is essential for educational leaders because schools are complex systems with multiple stakeholders, interdependent roles, and dynamic processes. I look forward to engaging with you as we examine how educational organizations function and how leadership and management can make a positive difference in these environments. So far, we have focused on how managers work with individuals. This week, we expand our perspective to the organizational dimension, forming groups of individuals, building them into effective teams, and ensuring these teams work together to achieve the organization's purpose and goals is at the heart of organizational management. Teams are the building blocks of organizations, and managers act as the glue that holds them together, coordinating efforts, maintaining cohesion, and guiding performance. Understanding this dimension helps educational leaders move from managing individuals to managing the organization as a whole, ensuring that staff and resources are aligned to achieve both short and long-term objectives. When managing organizations, understanding different leadership theories is essential because leadership shapes how teams function and how organizational goals are achieved. Trait theories focus on the personal qualities and characteristics of effective leaders, such as intelligence, self-confidence, integrity, and adaptability. These traits influence a leader's ability to guide teams successfully, but their effectiveness also depends on the context in which they are applied. Behavioral theories shift the focus to observable actions and behaviors. Leadership styles such as autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire, and transformational have distinct impacts on team motivation, satisfaction, and performance. For example, transformational leaders inspire and engage teams, while autocratic leaders may be effective in urgent or highly structured situations. Situational theories emphasize that context matters. Models like the Hersey-Blanchard situational model and the path goal theory highlight the importance of adapting leadership style to the competence and commitment of followers. In organizational management, this flexibility ensures that teams receive the support and direction they need to perform effectively. By understanding these theories, educational leaders can match leadership approaches to organizational needs, create more cohesive teams, and foster an environment where both staff and students can thrive. Transformational leaders inspire and motivate followers, foster a shared vision, and facilitate meaningful change within the organization. Key characteristics of transformational leaders include charisma, intellectual stimulation, individualized consideration, and inspirational motivation. These qualities help leaders create positive outcomes, such as increased teacher commitment, improved student achievement, and an enhanced organizational culture. The outcome of the leadership process in an educational organization depends on both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation drives engagement through self-fulfillment, with individuals inherently committed to their tasks. Extrinsic motivation relies on tangible rewards or consequences to encourage performance. Transformational and transactional leadership theories illustrate different approaches to motivating staff. Transformational leadership emphasizes vision and inspiration, generating intrinsic motivation, while transactional leadership focuses on tasks, rewards, and penalties, appealing to extrinsic motivation. Both are important in educational settings, but transformational leadership is particularly effective in fostering long-term commitment and school improvement. In educational management, understanding task-performing leadership theories is essential because they explain how leaders motivate staff and influence outcomes. Transformational leadership focuses on intrinsic motivation, inspiring people to engage with tasks because they find them meaningful and rewarding. It fosters a sense of purpose and commitment, which can also extend to students, enhancing learning outcomes. In contrast, transactional leadership relies on extrinsic motivation, using external stimuli such as rewards or penalties to encourage performance. At its core, transactional leadership is based on an exchange or transaction between the leader and follower. Interestingly, transactional approaches are often used to analyze and evaluate transformational leadership practices, but purely transactional methods like offering salaries or bonuses have been shown to have limited impact on teachers' motivation. This highlights the importance of integrating intrinsic motivation into leadership strategies to achieve lasting improvement in educational settings. In managing educational organizations, it is essential to actively manage against goals. This means not only having a clear sense of direction, but also using markers to assess progress. We often describe direction and progress using terms such as goals, objectives, targets, and success criteria. At a broader level, organizations have aims or a central purpose, which acts like gravity, constantly moving the organization forward. Organizational aims create creative tension, harness energy, and keep the organization dynamic. Successful leaders emphasize movement and momentum. For instance, executives like those cited by Peters and Waterman use metaphors such as ready, fire, aim, suggesting that organizations should be steered rather than driven, using the natural forces within the organization to amplify leadership interventions. Similarly, John Harvey Jones highlighted that speed and forward movement are more important than perfect direction. Once you are moving, adjustments can be made along the way. Once the organization is on the right course and everyone understands the direction, managers can set more specific markers of progress, such as targets. For example, if the goal is to stimulate curriculum innovation, a small group of staff, students, and parents can work towards a general aim and propose concrete changes, which can then be incorporated into the curriculum with a target date. This approach should also be applied to departments, teams, and committees, ensuring their aims align with the school's broader goals. In organizations with multiple objectives, management must balance different but compatible aims, whether social and economic in companies like Shell and AstraZeneca, or educational and developmental in schools. Explicitly defining aims helps organizations harmonize these objectives and maintain focus. Every organization has stakeholders, groups, or individuals who have an interest in its performance and outcomes. In business, stakeholders include customers, suppliers, shareholders, employees, and society at large. In schools, stakeholders are pupils, parents, governors, teachers, feeder schools, higher education institutions, employers, and the local community. The key task of management is to look after the interests of all stakeholders and maintain a balance between their often competing needs. Organizational aims serve as guiding stars. We may not fully reach them, but they provide direction and help us steer the organization effectively. Effective leaders continuously consider stakeholders' perspectives when making decisions, ensuring that the school fulfills its educational mission while respecting the needs of all involved. When considering stakeholders in educational organizations, it is important to define clear aims that serve the interests of all parties. These aims include recognizing individual talents of all kinds and developing students' intellectual, physical, and creative capacities, ensuring the curriculum meets the individual needs of each student, developing a flexible curriculum that responds to students' needs at different ages and stages, acknowledging the legitimate demands of employers, colleges, universities, and examining bodies, addressing the broader needs of society, including essential skills like literacy, numeracy, and communication, preparing students for the necessity to earn a living and for skilled occupations or professions, measuring the extent to which individuals are successfully using their natural gifts and opportunities. These aims guide school managers in balancing the interests of all stakeholders, ensuring that students, society, and future employers all benefit from the educational process. In delivering education, it is essential to be rigorously selective in the material presented to students, keeping in mind the broader aims for stakeholders. Key educational aims include 1. Instilling a lifelong attitude to learning, showing that education continues beyond the classroom. 2. Stimulating intellectual curiosity, encouraging students to explore and question. 3rd, directing and exercising the emotions, helping students develop emotional intelligence. 4th, encouraging discrimination, enabling students to make informed judgments. 5th, developing the art of learning, fostering effective study skills and strategies. 6th, building the capacity to tackle unfamiliar problems, promoting problem solving and adaptability. 7th, emphasizing the distinction between truth and lies, fact and feeling, and developing an understanding of evidence. 8th, growing understanding of the nature and importance of knowledge, while engaging students with the processes and resources of learning. These aims guide teachers in designing curriculum content and learning experiences that develop both the intellect and character of students, ensuring they are prepared for future challenges and opportunities. To conclude now, let's bring this discussion to a practical, personal level. 1. Identify stakeholders in your school. These could include pupils, parents, teachers, governors, local community members, and employers. 2. Consider the aims each stakeholder has for the school. What do they want to achieve, and what do they value most? 3. Reflect on conflicts. Are there actual or potential areas where these aims clash? 4th, assess articulation and use. How well are these aims communicated and used to guide the school's activities? 5th, generate common purpose. Think about what you, as a school leader or manager, can do to foster a shared sense of commitment to these aims, aligning stakeholders toward common goals. This exercise helps you understand the complexity of stakeholder management and develop strategies to create coherence, shared purpose, and effective organizational direction in your school. As we conclude this week's lecture on leadership theories, managing organizations in education, it is important to reflect on the role of leadership, management, and stakeholder engagement in creating effective schools. We have explored how managers work with individuals and teams to achieve organizational goals, the significance of leadership styles, trait, behavioral, situational, transformational, and transactional, and their impact on motivation, performance, and school improvement. The importance of defining aims and objectives clearly for both the organization and its stakeholders, and the need to balance competing interests. Practical ways to apply these concepts personally to foster a sense of common purpose and commitment. I encourage you to consult the references on this slide for deeper insights into educational leadership and organizational management. They provide both theoretical frameworks and practical guidance to help you lead schools more effectively, make informed decisions, and inspire staff and students alike. By studying these works and reflecting on your own practice, you can continue to develop as an educational leader capable of steering your school toward meaningful and sustainable improvement. Thank you for being with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week.